Is love in the air, or is your relationship on the verge of destruction? Let's talk about it. Sit back,
relax,
and enjoy your favorite cocktail as we discuss relationships, dating,
sex,
and love. Love on the rocks, that is.
Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks.
Oh yeah, welcome to Love on the Rocks. I am Roger the Wild Child. What the heck was that?
I don't know. What was what hit?
I don't know. You're like breathing too heavily into the microphone.
Maybe I was just too close. Don't make it awkward.
Don't make it awkward. All right, guys, welcome to Love on the Rocks. Roger the Wild Child along with Megan Bennett. You had a very busy week. We all have. We're getting ready for the holidays.
Yes. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's among us. And I realized
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I just finally went Christmas shopping last night. In bed.
You
on
just
Amazon.
Started?
Yeah. I was like realizing
Oh
it was like
gosh.
2 weeks till Christmas. I was like, holy crap, I better get some presents ordered. Good thing I got Amazon Prime. It'll be here in 2 days.
Yeah, no kidding. Good Lord.
No
Good
hustle
Lord.
and bustle trying to go to the malls and wasting gas and get into car accidents, you know.
You got to go to the mall, though, at least once during a Christmas season. Just for the lights. Just to appreciate the lights.
All right. Well, I went on Black Friday. So in the malls were
That is
like
not the time to go to the mall.
I realized that.
That is not the right time. It's a calm day to appreciate
we went to the mall. We're like, me and my kids were like, and my mom was in town. We went to the mall and I'm like, all right, it's packed. And we realized, I said, it's Black Friday. That's why.
It's Black Friday. I cannot.
I'd never go to the mall. And of course, the day that I do go to the mall, it happens to be Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Exactly.
Oh, no. No.
So, but it was cool to see everybody all out there and, you know, seeing the malls and the stores busy again. So,
any fights?
Nope. Oh
man, that's the best part.
I got this TV first, fucker.
It's crazy what some of those people will do.
Right.
I just like to people watch.
Oh yeah, I love people watching. Absolutely.
No, me too. Me too.
All right, so let's bring on our influencers. We've got our stats girl, Crystal.
Hi.
She's here. Drewski.
What up?
Dr. Love is back.
And
hey, everybody.
So, and then Lydia has a power outage. So, yeah, I guess they got hit with some storms where she was at. So, no internet for her. So,
oh no. Yeah, did y'all see the storms in Tennessee? That's heartbreaking.
Oh, the tornadoes.
Yeah.
Serious.
Crystal, you've got family there. Were they okay?
Yeah. All my family's okay. A couple friends got hit and had some damage, but luckily everybody's okay. So very grateful.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, not far from
I
my
thought of them
family,
instantly. Oh yeah, that's right, Jesse. You do have. Were they okay?
Yeah, they're all right.
Oh, good.
Scary. I had to check on them.
Absolutely terrifying. That was massive.
It was. What did it touch down in, like Clarksville?
Yeah.
Clarksville.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it said something like it went up towards Kentucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that area very well at all. But I've been glued to the news, like watching, and of course you see all this stuff on social media, and it's so heartbreaking. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Seeing, storms in action. It's crazy, and people's houses, like, some, like, I remember years ago, Joplin, Missouri was totally wiped out.
Oh gosh. Yeah. That's right.
And I have friends that live in Joplin, and wow, it's crazy.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That was insane. That was a hell.
And then,
really need a cat.
Thomas Wright, my partner on Kick-Ass Country, said that 6 confirmed tornadoes in Clarksville.
Was it EF3?
Yeah.
Recently, like, I guess it was more like
more than 5 years ago, but there was a
That is
tornado
not
warning.
recently.
Yeah, there was a tornado warning in my
What do you
hometown,
get?
and I remember I was with my buddy just out driving around, and I was like, "Hey, I think it's getting pretty bad. We probably should just get back to my house just in case." And we're on the way home, and it's getting real windy, and I see a Domino's driver going to someone's house, and I'm just thinking, who the fuck ordered pizza?
Wow.
and also fuck Domino's for making this dude deliver that
Right?
shit.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, like, we got sirens
Oh.
going off, like it touched down, like right outside.
Oh God.
Yeah, and this poor guy's delivering a fucking shitty ass pizza. Like, like that's
Did
It's
you
going
say
above
you
and
wanted a
beyond.
flying pie? Come on.
That would be when I would quit my job if I were that delivery guy. Like,
No
I'm
kidding.
out. I was like, you fucking crazy.
I'm sure he does not make enough money.
No, I'm going home and keeping the pizza. And fuck
Right.
the dude that
Probably
ordered
during-
it. No,
It was
fuck
probably
the guy
during
that
the
ordered it.
time-
Notice by.
Yeah, it was probably during the time where they had like the 20-minute window, like get your pizza in 20 minutes or less, and it's free.
Okay,
Like if it goes over.
it takes 20 minutes to drive.
But do y'all
Over my
remember when
hometown?
Domino's used to do that?
Yeah,
and
I do.
outside of it.
Like
No,
the
because I
delivery
don't eat
guarantee.
Domino's pizza.
That just says how old we are. So yeah.
Yeah.
You drive 20
That's
minutes to my
true.
hometown, you're in a different town.
Hmm.
It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't. But I'm not ordering pizza if it's there's a fucking tornado touching it.
I've never had Domino's pizza that I know of.
Oh,
Really?
their reward system is great. Like you order 6 times, you get a free pizza.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Won't eat it.
All right. All right, guys.
I'm
Welcome.
just
Not
not.
Domino's.
All right, welcome to the show tonight. We got a great topic that we're discussing today. It's resolving conflict
Resolving.
constructively. So, strategies for handling disagreements in a positive way. And
Keyword being positive.
positive. This is happens to be Megan's episode. This is her topic of choice.
You know,
She's the
yeah.
expert.
It is.
As
I
I'm
wouldn't go
shuffling
that
around
far.
my notes.
I would not go that far. But yeah, I did pick it this week.
You did. So
I did.
I'm gonna let you
I've
take
got a
control of
whole
this
book
one.
on that.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the
Says
floor to
Jesse
Jesse.
is right.
Okay.
You want Dr.
Jesse,
Love?
you can take it away with your notes.
Yeah.
Call me
Stats
the
boy.
expert. Call me the expert.
Alrighty.
Wait, what is that? Is that binder actually notes on you being right?
Yes, that is. Yes,
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
yes,
You made a
yes,
fucking
yes.
binder. Who did you date that you required a binder to be made?
No, that's from work.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I
was
got
about to
my
say.
notes right here. I got my notes right here.
I got mine too. Okay, Crystal, what you got for stats?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're talking
Okay.
about healthy conflict and unhealthy conflict, or confrontation,
resolution.
or arguments, or whatever you want to call it in a couple. So I think we have to establish what is respectful and healthy and what's not. And I'm sure we all have plenty of examples of what's not disrespectful and healthy. Would anybody care to share with the class?
Yes, teacher.
What's not
I know.
disrespectful?
What's not disrespectful?
What is disrespectful in an argument, disagreement?
Not letting the other person speak their viewpoint.
Giving somebody the K.
Cut her off. The
Giving
K,
somebody the K.
the
The K.
potassium.
So no,
The
not
K.
everybody does the K. Or not everybody has
Or the thumbs
same-
up. Or the thumbs
Yeah,
up.
The thumbs up is really a
That makes me just want to like blow into a brick wall if I get the K.
If you're
So if
having
I-
important conversations by text message emojis, the other person's probably not taking it that serious.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
I would definitely
absolutely.
send you an. I would definitely send you an emoji if you tried to argue with me over the phone.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So some examples that I have, just some things that came up in my research or that I experienced on my own at some point. So some disrespectful and unhealthy things that a lot of people will encounter in disagreements with their partner are things like mocking or making fun of their partner, even if it's like a playful like nah, 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 like that's not mature or
I
healthy.
agree with that.
You're just mad because that wins every argument.
Name
Yeah. Name calling. Yeah, it wins every argument. Yeah, it wins every
raising your
argument.
voice or yelling, discrediting your partner's feelings, threatening them, or threatening to take something away from them, whether it be like your affection relationship, whatever. Constantly interrupting or talking over, basically not hearing them out. The bottom line is that communication is key. In everything that I was taking my notes on and researching, it all came down to good communication, good communication, good communication is how you will avoid these bad things, but also how you get the good things, because there is respectful and healthy confrontation and arguments in relationships. Do you guys want to guess what kind of
When
things
you
that
talk to
include?
somebody, you need to say it in a manner of I feel like, not, you did this, you did that, you did this. I feel that you don't
Your
respect
actions
what
are
I
making me
did.
feel this way.
Yeah, you need to express how you feel as a person towards that person.
I
What-
think the
what you're
vocabulary. I feel like the vocabulary doesn't mean shit. How you feel is how you feel, and that's just using extra sex to make them feel better about what they're saying. But at the end of the day, if they're fucking wrong, someone's wrong and someone's right. That's what I'm saying. There's not a fucking
Right.
I feel
You
like
think
you're
there
right.
isn't a
No,
gray
they're
area?
fucking
No.
wrong. Like,
But we have a right to feel the way that we do,
yeah, no
and
one's
maybe
arguing
we're
that.
perceiving the wrong, impression. But when you say I feel, that gives the other person the opportunity to say, listen, I understand how you feel, but this is not the way that I meant it. This is, it gives them an opportunity to be able to understand that you do have feelings and that they should listen to you, because, it's not about you being right or them being right. It's the way that you see the conflict from your eyes, and having the other person understand how you're feeling. Does that make sense?
No, that seems like
Right.
some weak beta shit.
Oh, whatever.
Well,
Drew.
actually, he's got a point. I statements are super important. It avoids the blame game, because think about it. The last time you had a disagreement or, argument with your significant other, or just anybody for that matter, if you said, I felt blah, blah, blah when you blah, 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 like, you're not necessarily placing blame on them. You're telling them how you feel. And that's true. You cannot discredit somebody's feelings. It's their feelings. But the opposite of that would be, you did this because blah, 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 or you did this because you're a yada, yada, yada. Like, I don't know, fill in the blanks there.
I
But-
cheated on you because you weren't there for me, and you're fine. No, seriously. And you find excuses for your actions, and they're really not justifiable, but you're looking for justifications when you sit there and you point the finger and you're doing the blame game to your partner to make you feel like what you did was okay.
Nah, there's no conversation. If you cheat, there's no conversation had.
There's no, yeah.
Bye.
I agree, but I'm just saying. But some people,
I don't give a shit how you
feel-
feel. Like,
No, some people feel justified if they say, I have a reason
If
to
there's
do
a
this.
void, or yeah.
And you know what? And that it doesn't even mean that it's right. But people are out there do try to use things to justify, to make themselves feel like what they did was okay.
People try to justify their infidelity with excuses. Now, that's not necessarily a healthy argument, because that's a very unhealthy situation to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
But-
fuck with the I feel shit. No, you piss me off, and this is why.
See, that's blaming.
That's
and
blaming.
bad.
No, but no,
That's
that's
true.
true. No, they pissed me off. They did. That's a fact. It's
He
not
hasn't been in
blaming.
enough relationships like we have.
Yeah.
I have been.
Office speak everything to avoid the big
I don't know. Wait
blowout.
a minute. I kind of feel like Drew's onto something here, because
Yeah.
if somebody's
Yeah.
actions make me feel a certain way, I'm gonna tell them, like, this is like your actions, what you did, whatever you said, makes me feel some sort of way. It doesn't always have to be
That's okay.
positive. It doesn't always have to be negative. So saying you pissed me off by doing whatever, I'm not placing blame. I'm saying if that is placing blame, it is, but
It's
But
their
you're
fault
bringing
that
that
I'm
back to
did
your
piss me
personal
off.
feelings.
Yeah, it's their fault that I'm pissed off, though.
And usually when somebody's feelings are hurt, it's not that the other person intended to hurt their feelings. It's just that there's a
I do.
breakdown in communication. And like, they may think that you interpreted it one way, like how they meant it, but really you interpreted something another way. And if you don't clarify the communication, it tends to just like kind of build. But that's why those I statements are so important, because like you could say for certainty, like how you feel. You know, you can't say you did this because like you don't know why they did it, but you may be feeling like they did it for a certain reason. See?
Well, regardless of why the person did it, my argument would be the fact that, you know, so what on what made you do it? The fact is that you did it. And I'm angry or I'm sad or I'm happy or whatever it may be. Like it's not
a decision
anyway.
they made has directly affected you.
Right.
Yeah, and it is important to speak up about it like when it starts happening. Because oftentimes what happens is people in their honeymoon stage, which let me give you some notes on that, can last anywhere from 3 months to 2 years. And it's a stage in your relationship where you have higher levels of dopamine and oxytocin. Yeah, less than a month for some people. Anyway, all of these chemicals are released in your brain. And it's when you're like all in love and you tend to have blinders on and let a lot of things slide. And when you're in that stage and you let a lot of things slide, well, people are going to, the other person's going to keep doing those things. So if it bothers you, it is important to like speak up right away, to communicate very clearly as soon as it happens.
Right. No, I agree.
Nice, you know, the nice manner. But there are some respectful
always
ways.
Do it in a nice manner, but
well, see, when you like keep shoving it down, eventually it will just like explode and then it comes out not so nice. And then that gets into that disrespectful, unhealthy argument.
Okay, so I need to ask the love doctor on this one because he's got a book of stats too. So your thoughts on this whole thing. There you go. You open your book, page 3, paragraph 4.
Oh man, where were we even at? There's been so much laid out already.
We were talking about healthy and respectful ways to argue.
Healthy and
no gaslighting in arguments.
Yeah, no, definitely no gaslighting.
No gaslighting, no throwing hairbrushes.
You know,
no violence.
Don't be thinking of your rebuttal before the person's finished talking.
That's good.
And that's hard for me.
That is so good.
Right? Like,
I have rebuttals for arguments I've never had. 100%. I know exactly what I'm going to say if someone says some bullshit all the time.
Well, I mean, yes, you got your comments in your head, but I mean, for my ADHD brain, like I'm sitting there thinking of 4 or 5 different things I want to say already, and you got to slow down. You got to put it in the right gear, and you got to be present in the conversation. You gotta.
Yes, what Steven
says. It's just hard not to be coming up with the next rebuttal.
Well, Stephen Michael from Facebook says there is no healthy way to argue.
That is not true.
Yeah, there is. It's just you say, Drew, you're right, and you shut the fuck up.
So,
boy, you got a lot to learn about life.
Like what Jesse was on to that way.
If you just tell the woman you're right and you shut the fuck up,
it works. It fucking works.
Admitting that I'm right is one way to end the argument very quickly, but
it doesn't resolve it. It just
right. Only that clear communication is going to resolve the argument. But what Jesse was saying is actually on the list of healthy and respectful ways to argue. So listening without distractions is super important for very obvious reasons. Like you don't want to be thinking of your rebuttal.
Were you talking to me? Were you saying something?
I knew he was going to do that.
That's the example of what not to do. Like putting away your phones, actually dedicating
that is the
time.
worst thing. Oh my gosh, when I'm in a relationship with somebody, and I'm trying to have a conversation with them, and they're sitting there like hiding in their phone, and you're like trying to have a heart-to-heart conversation, and they're going, and I'm like, really? Seriously?
Like when people do that, I start to lose track of what I was even thinking.
I feel you're not giving me attention because you're on your damn phone.
See, it works. So that's one thing. So listening without distractions. Each partner respecting each other's values and beliefs, even when they contrast. Like, don't play dirty.
You talking about dig out the past and shit? Like,
Let it go. Let it
Yeah,
go.
just don't. Yeah,
Okay.
not
You're
bring
like
it up
Elsa
past
from
events. So
whatever
you gotta
the
keep
fuck.
it focused.
Let it
on-
go. Let it
Yeah.
go.
So keeping it focused on the task or the
Jesse, do you
argument
have
at
a daughter?
hand.
No.
Uh-huh. So you just
Um,
watched Frozen on your own?
I mean, bro, you got to know that shit. You know that
Sounds
shit.
like
You're being
that.
very
I have-
disrespectful to
I have
Crystal. She's
5
trying-
younger siblings.
You know that shit.
I have 5 younger siblings, and we are frozen age.
Mm-mm.
My son's 13. We're in the
Okay.
teen boy years. It's awkward as fuck. I'm trying to remember when I was that age.
Has he asked you puberty questions yet?
No.
We just hit that stage Monday. Not that stage,
Oh.
that age.
Wait, he's already asked you puberty questions?
No.
Oh. I literally was like, I went straight to my mom. I was like, "Yo, mom, what the fuck is going
No,
on
she
right
was
now?"
asking him puberty questions.
No, my mom was like your mom, caught me humping the couch cushion when I was a kid.
I was like, "Mom, my legs are hairy. I don't know what's going on."
Mom walked downstairs and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Y'all are terrifying me for what I have.
Mm-mm,
come.
stop.
Right? I know.
Just give
Boy
your
moms,
gi-
I'm sorry.
give your
They're
kid
doing
a
it.
lock on his door and don't ask fucking questions. Just
Children, please do not watch this show.
Bruh,
Turn it
I'm
off
not-
Please
right
don't.
now.
Leave the room.
yeah, no. Once he hits a certain age, once he like starts, liking girls and shit or guys, if that's his thing, just let him lock the door and don't ask fucking questions.
Mm-mm.
Don't check his browser history.
I knock. Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah. Just
Okay, so
fucking-
Jesse, finish what you were saying.
Yes, go ahead, Jesse.
Where were we even at?
We don't want to be disrespectful and rude to you, so go ahead.
I totally forgot where we're even at with that.
Healthy arguments.
Healthy arguments. Yeah, no, I think like you gotta set the tone for back and forth. You have to. I mean, it's almost like you gotta go to a jury trial, right? Like you make your statement, I make my statement. We don't over talk each other. We don't raise our voices. I mean, that's my experience is over talking each other and raising voices and changing the tone. And you gotta back away from all that. You gotta set those ground rules. All right, we're not gonna scream at each other. We're not going to interrupt each other. We're gonna let each other finish. And to be constructive, you have to hear each other out and let you get your point across. Let me absorb that and honestly and adequately give you my feedback before.
Okay, so my question is for everybody here on the panel. If you are having a dispute and the other person is not giving you the respect to try to listen and try to understand what's going on or having that conversation, what do you suggest you do? I mean, obviously it's either table the conversation and come back to it later, but what do you do? I mean,
you show them the consequences.
And those would be, Drew?
Depends on what the argument is. But if say you have a problem that's with something they do all the time and they're not, trying to
Talk
fix
to the
it.
hand, Drew.
Yeah, if you're gonna just do that shit to me, then you're gonna get a less quality relation. You're gonna have a less quality relationship with me. That's how it's gonna go. If you have no interest in fixing what's going on, then you're gonna see a less compassionate and a less caring Drew. That's the consequence.
It's become a one-sided relationship.
Exactly, and I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm gonna get what if all you care about is what you want, then all I'm gonna care about is what I want.
Right.
It is what it is. Yeah,
Crystal.
Same.
I know you
if
want
they
to
have
say
a problem
something.
with that, they can leave.
So I actually have 3 strategies for you. Well, one isn't necessarily a strategy, but a tip, and it's something that like I've learned about myself. So self-awareness is kind of key, and knowing how you communicate best is super important. So like I know that I cannot, like if there's a disagreement going on, I know that like I need to pause and take a break until I'm at a place where I'm not going to react emotionally, because then I just say mean things and I get real nasty, and then it's not healthy after that point. So like being in the right frame of mind is super important for me. But 2 strategies that I have for everybody that were recommended in all of the research that I was going through, they're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum. So there's this concept, which is apparently pretty popular according to some people, called the 3-day rule. Have you guys ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this concept where individuals agree to take a 3-day relationship break from each other after a heated disagreement. During this time, both parties cool off, reflect on their feelings, thoughts, and avoid communication with each other. So, like, I picture like Ross in the back, like, we were on a break, but like
they were on a break.
You're seeking other partners.
Some other dude.
That's what I'm all I'm saying on Ross's behalf. Imagine that you break up or take a break because you're jealous of a guy, and then when you call her, he answers the phone. Yeah, I'm fucking that bitch at the bar too. Like, I don't give a shit. Like Ross is in the and I don't even like Ross, but he's
Okay, I just want to clarify, like, infidelity is not a part of the 3-day rule. Like, you're still in a relationship.
Yeah.
You just give each other time to miss each other. Like,
that guy was trying to sleep with Rachel, and he answered the phone the first time Ross called her. Ross was right. I'm doing the same shit he's doing.
Well, and then there's some research on how long a healthy fight should last, where my next technique actually comes in. So there is this therapist and author and researcher and developer named Dr. Stan Tatkin. You can actually find him on Instagram at Dr. Stan Tatkin. Type it out later. So he advises that couples shouldn't fight for more than 15 minutes before taking a break. Like, wherever 15. You're at that point, you need to pause, take another 15-minute break, and then see if you can revisit the conversation. So he says, give it 15 minutes, go away from each other, think, cool off. Like,
that's like the worst part.
That's why you have to stop. That's why you have to practice the pause.
No,
you don't take out the worst part on your partner, who you obviously don't want to hurt.
No. I'm not. I'm saying the worst part is like it feels more like a fight when you're not talking.
But you come back together.
You're
You're just like
a break for 15 minutes.
It feels like it's over for 15 minutes. What it does. Like, no, you gotta get that shit off your fucking chest.
No. So okay, personal experience. I was with somebody that liked to fight a lot, and there's reasons for that. That's a whole different story. But he liked to fight a lot, and he would just nonstop. Like, I would be in a ball on the floor crying, just asking him to please stop. And he would just keep going because he needed to get his feelings heard. He wanted to be felt. Never mind the fact that, like, I was like, oh my God, like, please stop, go away. Uh-oh.
Who is yelling in the back?
Yeah.
Easton, shut up.
It's a squirrel.
Sorry.
Megan's kids.
Okay. But yeah,
you guys, like, is your house just one big house with no rooms?
No, I'm just downstairs.
Okay.
There's 2 other stories above me.
Tell them to go to the 3rd story.
But yeah, so like, just continuing to argue when your partner needs to break is not a good idea. just for future reference too.
I don't know. I've always felt like if 2 people can't have a disagreement and maintain their coolness, and like,
they shouldn't be together.
Anyway, if 2 people can't have a disagreement and keep it calm, keep it rational, I know there's going to be like heated moments, but there should be no screaming. There should be no physical. You know what I'm saying? If 2 people just can't talk it out,
it's called clear communication.
Exactly.
Yeah, then just separate, go your own ways. Like, I don't have it in me to go to that extreme and scream and yell, and like, I'll just hang up the phone.
And having disagreements and arguments is normal. It's not to say that it's not normal. It's
Right.
perfectly normal.
Right.
So like not have any ever, that maybe would not be so normal. But it's about how you handle them and how you communicate and like how you come together afterwards. So
Right.
it's like kind of super important to
Exactly.
establish at the beginning, like before you're in a fight, your communication style and how you would like to argue with your partner before it actually happens. So like if you're somebody who needs
Yeah.
space, you know, you tell them before you get in the argument, like, hey, if this ever happens, we need space because I
Yeah.
need to cool off. And they don't just keep nagging at you.
Right. Everybody
But
needs a
don't
cooling
just
off
go and give
period.
the silent treatment. And
I
that
hate the
perturbs me
silent
so
treatment.
bad. The
Oh my
silent
God.
treatment is a killer.
All right, two
Yeah.
things I hate the most: the silent treatment and going to bed and not getting it resolved. Those are the two
Yes.
things. Those are my biggest pet
Absolutely.
peeves.
So you would
Amen.
not be
I
a
agree.
3-day rule person.
I'm not a
Oh.
3-day rule person. Absolutely not. I will drive myself absolutely bonkers. Like I have to have it resolved before I go to bed. If it's something much bigger, like I get it, but don't go to bed angry.
No.
I would
I mean, I
say
guess it
after,
depends
after
on.
she throws a cup at your head, leave her alone.
That's different. You chuck one back and call it a night. Like that's different. But
I mean, I guess it would
I'm
depend on the
kidding.
severity of the argument if I could do the 3-day rule or not.
If it's
No,
somebody I care
no,
about, and I'm
I
not
gotta
gonna
make my
like
point
date
known.
you unless I care about you. And if you're somebody I care about, I can't go 3 days.
3 days, exactly.
I can't do it.
Nope, I'm not a 3-dayer. No.
Mm-mm.
But maybe
get it
you'd miss
resolved by
them
the end of
before
the
those
night.
3 days are up, and then the argument wouldn't matter anymore.
And then you guys just have sex and it's all over, right?
No, because my smart ass mouth is going to come right back out and be like, "Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about this or this or this. We need to get this established and like
then
squash."
they could just be like, you know, my dick was in your mouth like 5 minutes ago.
That's great. It's not now, which allows us to talk.
So,
Are you blushing, Crystal?
Yeah, she's totally blushing.
She is.
Back to the topic, not me blushing. Like you need to talk about it when it's happening, because if you don't, like if you're just like if you use sex as a weapon to like avoid the whole conversation, it's just gonna come back in the next argument, which will undoubtedly happen.
It just means the fight's on pause. That's all it means.
I think
pause,
it's worth it.
I think whoever finishes first loses the argument, and that's usually just how it be.
Who finishes first?
Yeah.
Who finishes first?
So
Yeah.
you're saying that women are always right?
Nah, I have a cheat
Are you
code.
talking
It's
about
called
finishing in the argument or finishing first in
Yeah.
bed? What are you
in bed. Whoever finishes first in bed loses.
Okay.
And the cheat code for dudes is eating pussy.
Oh my!
Wow.
Put that in your
Wow,
notes.
you went there.
I'm laughing
Yeah.
for a different reason than you guys
Wow.
probably
I'm
are.
blushing on that one. I can't.
Keep laughing. Keep laughing.
Wow.
It's like, I win.
Oh.
I can't even look at the camera right now.
Now I'll fuck you for 2 minutes. Yeah, baby.
So I recently read a study that said men tend to overestimate their skills in the bedroom by like a large percentage. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, okay. You can't
Yeah.
underestimate getting your
That's-
skull crushed by 2 thighs.
That's more about your pleasure than hers.
What?
Yeah.
That's a good topic for a show.
No, right?
Men overestimating their skill level.
Yeah.
Who's better at oral, sloppy toppy, or getting your dick raked by teeth?
Oh my
What?
god.
Oh, Jesus.
What
So
is
back to that conversation at
Oh,
hand
God.
about fighting.
So, guys, if you're all checking us out, we are talking about resolving conflict constructively,
Yeah.
strategies for handling disagreements in a positive way.
Sloppy
And the
top?
bedroom is a positive way, right? Is that what you're saying, Drew?
Yeah, I think it helps.
that's what he's saying.
I mean, it wasn't listed in the unhealthy category. So.
I think it helps. You know, you put that strong emotion somewhere else, somewhere positive. You know,
I think
know,
it does help. Make it
that's a middle ground. You know, you're having a fight, but the middle ground is we could both get off right now and feel a lot better.
So you guys know that like when I'm trying to do all the research for the week, like I just have to try to guess at like where the conversation will go. And
Swerve hard left.
I mean, I have all sorts of like just random information like on my counter right now, but I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
What did you guys fight about the most in past relationships?
Cheating.
Uh,
That would absolutely be a big one.
so my ex-wife, I think the biggest argument was dishes in the sink.
That's on the list.
Yeah, dishes in the sink.
I like.
mean,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
what
ahead.
the shit? Dishes in the fucking sink.
I can understand.
I had a
I
system.
would take that
right?
argument
Like,
any day.
I would wash them on this side. I'd stack them on this side. When that side got full, I'd put them in the dishwasher.
Oh, so it was about how you did it, not the fact that you weren't doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I put them in the dishwasher.
Oh,
Did you
It's
start
just-
the dishwasher?
Did I start it? Yeah, when it got loaded all the way full. Yeah.
well, that makes sense to me. I mean, you were doing the dishes, so
Yeah, right.
what
I
about
would
you,
much rather
Roger?
have had that argument.
I think a lot of the arguments is sometimes we have a difference of opinion on, like, I'm talking about maybe my ex-wife and I had different opinions when it comes to like raising kids or what's appropriate or what's not appropriate. What the kids can do and what the kids can't do. And, it's like, sometimes, it's like one parent, well, I'm not saying who, but sometimes like with my exes, right? Like, my older kids' moms, they like to do all the fun stuff and not the criticism stuff. So it's like when they go to the other,
They always make you the bad cop.
yes, right.
Not a good
So,
feeling.
You hear about Disneyland dads, but then there's the Disneyland moms.
That's true. So kids is on the list
It
for
is.
certain age groups and marriage statuses. Drew, what about you? What did you argue about the most?
It was actually mainly politics.
What?
Yeah, I dated my longest relationship to date was with a political science major,
Oh,
and we lived together. And I'm very independent, and I have views all over the fucking political spectrum. She was straight liberal. And I'll never forget this one argument we got in. She kept calling me a fucking basically a Trumpy or like a far rightist or whatever. And I was like, and so I basically started going down the list. I was like, I'm all for gay people, I'm cool with like immigrants coming here from other countries. I think drugs should be illegal or should be legal for the most part. I was like, most of my views are actually pretty liberal. I just want people to work for a living. I don't like weakness. I don't like weak people. But how I ended it was, but you telling me what I am is the most libtard shit I've ever fucking heard.
Right.
And just to kind of get under her skin. And then there was another, there was a scare where we thought she might be pregnant. And she told me that if she was pregnant, she would just get an abortion 100%. And I said, like I'm all for abortion, but if it's my kid, I'd much rather, if you weren't ready to be a mom or you didn't want to be a mom, that's fine. But I'd rather you have the kid and then I'll just be a single dad and you don't have to have any part of the kid's life. And she's like, well, it's not up to you. And I was like, well, it's half my kid. It started in my balls. And then, so it is 50% my kid. If
so
people
kids
are property,
were an argument for you, even though technically you weren't
Kinda.
in the bracket that.
yeah,
There
we
you
didn't
go.
have the kid.
Fell under.
But I told her, I was
Yeah.
like, I think you should have the kid. And if you really don't want to be a mom, then that's fine. We can go our separate ways and I'll raise the kid by myself.
So I
That's
found
right.
it interesting that there was a lot of points in like all the research when I was looking up like what people were fighting about the most. Like the topic of kids fell under like something that married couples fight about the most. Not the absolute most, but it's on their list of like top 10 things that they fight about the most. But the number one thing that they made sure to point out, American couples fight about the most, or the most often. Do you want to guess?
What's that?
Tone of voice and attitude.
Definitely.
Oh, that's fitting.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Not even
I
the
agree.
actual subject, but how the other person
It's delivered.
is arguing.
Mhm.
So that was like number one. And then on all of the different lists, and I was looking at like just America, worldwide, married couples, unmarried couples, married couples in different stages. The top things that couples fight about the most often, the things that were on all of the lists, just in different orders. Money, communication styles, which was huge on all of the lists. Household chores made an appearance on all of the lists as well, but not necessarily pointing out that somebody was doing it wrong, rather that somebody was carrying more of the load than the other person, or like somebody just wasn't contributing as much or as expected. Free time was another one. Physical intimacy, obviously, but I found it interesting that married couples fought about sex more than unmarried couples, and more so early on in their marriages, because later on in marriages, the arguments came down more to like chores and habits that they were annoyed by. So, and then also family made an appearance on the list. You ever dated somebody with like some rough family members that didn't get along with? And flirting.
Or family members that just won't go away and that end up like fixating
like, a
themselves
part of your
in your
relationship.
home, right?
Hmm.
Like when's your mom going home? I don't know.
Boundaries?
She's
What
been here for
boundaries?
3 days now. She lives up the street.
I mean, you live with your mom for free for 18 years. She can stay with me as long as she wants.
Oh my.
My mom,
Well,
100%. No, listen, my mom, 100%, and anyone I date seriously has to accept this. When she gets to the age where she can't take care of herself, there's no fucking way she's going to a nursing home. I will fucking
Don't
build
ever do that.
No, I'll build a mother-in-law house. She can stay with. She's living with me. She wiped my ass. I'll wipe hers. Like that's how it's.
Yeah.
I got a 4-bedroom just so my mom had a room.
Exactly. I have a 3-bedroom right now, and I'm accepting roommates, but only one because I have to have one room available for my mom.
There you
And that's
go.
like that's the rule.
Mama's got a room.
Have you guys ever dated somebody that had a family member you just didn't get along with, didn't like, or had a problem with, or they had a problem with you? Like, I could see that being super stressful. I've personally never had that issue. Like, I've liked the families of all the people I've dated, and so much like those people after we broke up, or like the person after we broke up, but their family was always great. Like,
My family doesn't like my ex.
Actually,
Really?
I think
Really?
for the most part, I
Yeah.
got along with my ex's families more than I got along with them.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I think never mind. I was originally I was like, yeah, I probably had no. I think that the families have always liked me a lot, and I've liked them. They're I've never had a bad experience with in-laws or whatever you want to call them.
I was.
I mean, I've heard some in-law horror stories, but that's just kind of secondhand info. Now, I don't have any, but I can see I've heard some stories. I could see why that's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I could
Obviously,
see that being on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But physical
Completely.
intimacy was one on all of the lists too.
Yeah, and the thing is like, with my marriage, it was just it was hard because I'm an affectionate person and I'm looking, for the affection, and she wasn't giving it, and it seemed like she always had every excuse why she couldn't postpartum, all this other stuff, and then it was another thing. We have all these kids, and it's like I don't have time, and it's like,
Is that also your love language, Rod?
it is. So, it's just, to me, quality time and physical touch are my 2 top love languages. And I feel like I never got that, like I wanted in my marriage. And, so I'm looking for that in my next relationship and hopefully my final relationship. So.
And I think it's like that the self-discovery part about knowing what your love language is and what you need to feel loved helps you communicate Like it comes back to the whole like, hey, if you communicate, like this is what you need to avoid your, this issue that I'm gonna have. Like, I don't know, it's important. So kudos to you.
Yep. So you learn from your other relationships, like you said, self-discovery. You learn who you are, what you want, and what you're looking for in a partner. So
100%.
Mhm. So when
100.
when it fails, you're like, I'm not going down that road again. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
So I'd rather be
I'm-
single until I find that right person.
I'm a quality time and acts of service person, which makes a lot of sense. Like when I look back at a lot of the arguments that I had in some of my previous relationships, I'm like, and I consider what their love languages are now that I could pretty much figure them out after the fact. like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, okay, that's why we always argued about that, because they weren't feeling loved. Well, I'm thinking like I'm showing them that I care for them, but I'm showing them in a way that they don't necessarily interpret that way.
No, I agree with Roger though. Like on physical touch, especially like if you feel like you're always the one initiating everything, it feels like they don't want you. They're not attracted to you. You know, like every once in a while I want them to just, grab me and fucking give me a big hug, give me a kiss, and like when you're the only one doing that, it feels like you're just not wanted.
Exactly.
The argument with physical touch is that it's not just like the how often, it's are both partners' needs being met.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just is it happening?
I
But
always believe
when they are.
I always believe that you take care of your partner before you take care of yourself.
100%. That's
Absolutely.
circling
and
back
they
to
will be coming back. They will be coming
circling back to eating her out before before you have sex. You can't lose. It's like I can last 5 seconds. It doesn't matter if she came thrice before I even put my dick in her.
Thrice.
Yeah.
One more for good measure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're good here.
We are.
Great. Great.
Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Great.
Yeah,
My
cool.
turn.
So I'm gonna get my
Or
one
when you
in.
just can't even say anything.
I'm gonna get my one
Just
in.
high
that
five.
Needs it. Yeah.
Just high five.
There you go.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever found yourselves in like a constant cycle of just like problematic relationships where you feel like you're arguing all the time?
My
Yeah.
longest relationship, we were arguing
Not
constantly.
now, but yeah.
Constantly.
I mean, not like just with the individual, but like multiple individuals in a row.
Well, oh, you mean like multiple relationships in a row?
Yes.
I've only had one where we were arguing all the time.
Tired of arguing. I mean,
No,
really,
but I no, this is what I'll say about it is that one, the reason I didn't have multiple rows, every other girl, I was like, if we started to get to that point, we're done. This girl, we made it work, but we argued constantly. She was the only girl I put up with arguing for, essentially.
it's
Why did
okay
you
to
put up with it?
argue. Well,
Oh, because she was amazing.
it's okay to argue.
No, she was a great
enough.
person. Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay to argue enough as it is, but when you are getting to the point where you're not finding a way to resolve the argument,
That's the
you're
problem.
beating a dead end. Yeah, you're beating a dead end horse.
So one of the last things that I was saving under the respectful and healthy category of arguing is asking what you can do for your partner or what they need to move forward. So if like the conversation at the end of the argument isn't like about moving forward and like, okay, how are you going to tackle this? Then like you're not really resolving it because it's going to creep up again because feelings are feelings. You know, they happen.
It may be out of mind for the moment, but it's not forgotten.
No,
Exactly.
that's typically how I've ended every argument is like I just kind of like just I'm always like just I'm the sacrificer always. Like I'm always just like I will be out of my comfort zone so they can be happy all the time. I do that constantly, even with my friends. And so I get to the point where I'm just like, yeah, exactly that. Like, what do you want me to do different? Okay, that's fine. That's not going to kill me. Let's just do it that way.
I mean, I kind of not. It sounds like there was a point where there was somebody who I would argue with constantly, and it wasn't resolving it, but I'd just be like, okay, you're right, like whatever you want, like just to make it end at that certain point, because they wouldn't stop. Like nothing
It's
was
making
going
it
to stop
worse
her.
than it should be.
Right. And it almost made it worse, because like what do you want from me? Like what do we need to just like stop? Like I need to walk away from you.
What are we accomplishing here with
Right,
this
like-
argument? You want to
Some-
prove that you're right?
Some people just like to just yell and scream and like take it out on the other person, and that's not healthy, but there are people out there like that. I
Mhm.
unfortunately have encountered some, but you
Oh,
know.
there's no bigger high than being right. Being right is the biggest high ever.
How would you know, Drew?
I fucking love being right.
He didn't.
Because Drew feels he's always right.
I mean, that's how everyone should feel.
Mm-hmm. Sure, sweetie.
You should not
That's
be
what
okay with being
it's
wrong.
all about, right?
Whatever
No,
you say.
because if you're wrong, you just understand why you're wrong, and now you're right. That's you should always be right.
Okay, everybody practice this. Sure, honey.
Yes, dear.
Sure, honey.
Sure, sweetie.
No, I'm saying like I'll agree with you, and now because I agree with you, I am now right. You should always be right.
I mean, like, I think at a
Yes,
certain
dear.
point, you have to consider, like, is it worth arguing about? Like, how important is it to you? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Choose your battles.
Oh, I should be
Exactly.
a fucking lawyer. I should be a fucking lawyer.
Maybe.
I can make anything right. I can make anything be like, yeah, he's got a point.
And they can't
Yeah.
be your family members.
Right.
So Crystal pulled out a book of stats. I don't know where the fuck she got them from, but this is what she said.
Like, she researches all week because she doesn't have.
What
social life.
are your sources, Crystal? Let's hear your sources.
I actually cite my sources. You can ask Roger and Megan. They've seen it.
Where are your
I
sources for
thought,
this
like,
week?
I actually have them in a Google Doc.
Okay, but
Don't make fun of me.
Crystal, you know we're
Don't
not
make
getting
my
paid.
They're
Right?
legitimate. They're
Stop
legitimate.
making fun of me.
You-
I
you-
believe it. You don't believe it?
You know we do this for free, Crystal.
I can't help it.
I can't find anybody to sponsor this damn show, okay? So we're
Yeah.
not getting paid.
Here's the thing.
Hey, Roger, let's get U.S.
Diet
Money
Dr.
Reserve to
Pepper and red
sponsor
wine.
Love on the Rocks.
Yeah, right.
Sponsored by U.S. Money Reserve.
Pepsi. Do you drink Pepsi, Megan?
Oh!
Oh my God.
See,
Not
that's just an
normally.
Oh
example.
my
That's just an
God.
example
Not
of a
normal.
woman being
Y'all
wrong.
shut up. Not normally. It's
That's
Dr.
not even the
Pepper,
right kind
okay?
of Dr. Pepper. What are you
What?
flexing for,
What
Crystal?
do you mean it is the right kind?
That's a
We're not doing
diet. That's a diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, we have no chance at a sponsor now. Oh my
Oh
God.
my
I know
God.
we're doomed.
We got
Because our
Pepsi and
conversations
diet.
are
Season
worth
one's been
sponsorship.
You really-
canceled, everyone.
They
We
have
are
Look that
done.
up.
They-
Pepsi?
Their
Pepsi?
taste and soda, their taste and soda is on par with their taste in men. We'll just put it that way. It's fucking.
Yeah, I've got
Diet.
taste in
You guys
you.
date diet men. You guys date diet men. All the sweet stuff is gone. Yeah.
Ah,
Uh huh.
I do Coke
Nope.
Zero.
No,
I do
it's
Coke.
artificially
Oh,
sweet.
I thought
and
you
it
said you
writes.
do coke.
Well, yeah. I mean, on the weekends.
What is funny about why are we making jokes about doing coke?
Shut up, Drew. Don't even.
It's socially acceptable.
What point were we at in the conversation about the topic?
I don't know. They're because
Fucking
this
Pepsi.
show,
Y'all are worried about
there's no
sponsors.
roadmap when it comes
What-
to
what-
this show.
you eat Pizza Hut or something? Like what the fuck's up with the Pepsi?
That's the goodness of this show.
Yes.
Do you guys know the difference between Coke and Pepsi? Do you know why they taste different?
One is sweeter and
Do
one
I
is
want to know
not.
the
No,
answer?
no.
One has real cocaine in it.
I
and
get
one does
nervous
not.
every time Drew asks a question.
No,
like,
this is real. This is real. This is real. So Coke is older, right? Coke was invented before refrigeration. Pepsi was invented after. So a warm Coke tastes like a cold Pepsi. And that's the actual truth.
And where's your sources?
A
I don't
warm
fucking
Coke
know. I learned this
tastes
shit a
like
long ass
cold
fucking time
Pepsi.
ago. Yeah, no.
That
so
is a crock of
So
shit.
no. Coke and Pepsi are both colas, but Coke was invented to be drank without refrigeration because refrigeration didn't exist. But
Warm
but
Coke still burns like cocaine in the back of your throat.
It doesn't
Cold
anymore. That
Pepsi
hasn't been a thing
still
since the
tastes
fucking
like dog piss.
1900s.
You guys ever drink Jolt Cola back in the day?
Yes.
I like to keep my heart
I know
healthy.
what Jolt
No.
was.
I was
No.
not alive for Jolt.
Yeah, I'm still a crackhead. I'll drink Monster or Jolt or anything.
I
with
thought
lots of
Mountain Dew was
caffeine
crazy.
in it.
I would drink Mountain Dew just because I thought it was crazy.
Before I
It
forget,
is crazy.
Yes.
I do have to put it out there because I know, well, Meg's going to make fun of me for being a nerd later. But so I really do like write a whole research paper every week and actually cite my sources because I've got this complex. So, like, no matter what I say, there's
Nerd
always somebody who
complex.
wants to like mansplain or like discredit me because of how I appear. Which I get it, like stereotypes are stereotypes, but you know, I actually have a brain and like know how to research stuff. So I do compile, like I do cite all my sources and I make a research paper in case anybody ever tries to call me out. So I could be like, here's the link.
Here's the difference
Send me
between
some
smart
links.
people and smart people come to conclusions without having to rely on other sources.
No, that would be inaccurate.
No.
Send some links and we can do some homework.
All right, so someone
Yeah.
smart is someone who can memorize facts, and someone wise is someone who comes up with things based on their experiences
That
and
would be
comes to their own conclusions.
correct.
Someone had to write the facts. Who wrote the facts? Where did they get their facts?
Who's smarter, the person who thinks that they know it all, or the person who knows that they don't know it all but knows how to research and find the accurate answer?
The person, the smartest person, the person that is right about things they came up with on their own.
What if the things you came up with are hot garbage and nobody gives a shit?
Well, they're not smart. I'm talking about the people that I'm talking about the people that wrote the books that you're citing.
But they did research to come to
Or-
their conclusions.
But
Like, they
research,
got numbers and
but
data.
research could just be personal experience at the same time.
But we're talking proof. Like a personal experience is not a reliable source. So not only do I have sources, I have reliable
Everything
sources
that
I
we have ever
vetted.
learned came from somebody experiencing something.
No.
Everything. The base
No.
is that. Yes. Fucking Charles Darwin saw evolution happen.
Yes,
And
Alistair.
and he wrote a book
is
about
this a
So
live
Drew was
demonstration
set
of an
out at the
argument?
beginning of this to be argumentative today.
Yeah.
Trying
But
to prove
I
a point
cannot
here.
let him.
I
think
told
that
you
he's
I'll
right.
argue anything. I don't
He
think
will.
I'm right. I know
But just
I'm
because
right.
you argue it doesn't mean you're good at it.
Oh, I'm so fucking good at it. Everything I've
Yes,
said is
honey.
accurate.
Sure you are. Good job.
Yes,
See
there we go.
that is the same thing as going
job.
yeah. That's the same
Exactly.
shit. Yeah. But everything I'm saying it has
So
a
you're
base.
actively listening?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I've heard everything you said. I just disagree
Really?
with
But
it
how can you hear everything I say if you're talking over me speaking?
because I'm hearing what you're gonna say because I'm that
But that's
smart.
not actively listening.
I know exactly what you're
Without
about to say.
distraction.
No, I'm not distracted. I'm
I need
focused.
some popcorn.
This one's ordering popcorn.
I know everything you're gonna say based on stereotypes and just knowing you.
Okay. Sit down. The grown-ups are
Stereotypes.
talking.
I can
but
rent a
seriously,
car.
like-
I can rent a car in 1 month. I'm an adult.
One whole month. But it is important. Like, I did have to throw it out there because, like, I have this complex because of people like Drew
My rib.
who like to think that their personal opinion weighs more or matters more than, like, you know, things that I've actually, like, researched and, like, looked up. And I've just had that problem, like, my whole entire life. So that's why I do that. And because, like, I'm a nerd and that's just what I do. And I actually
Nerd
use,
alert,
like,
nerd
academic
alert.
research papers.
Hmm.
I've actually sent you guys some of them. I bet you've never even read them.
Which ones?
I have not read a single thing that anyone has sent to
What
the
did
group
you
chat
send
at
me?
all.
Why not, Drew?
Like you sent to what?
Why? Because I'm.
Why
busy.
not?
'Cause
I'm
busy.
gonna blow your shit up now.
I won't read a goddamn thing.
Send me
I'm
some.
gonna blow your shit up.
I will press mute on the group chat and just log on and just.
I'll
talk,
do it
just
from
like
my
I'm doing
phone.
right now.
Like the one
I-
time you didn't even know
I
the
will
actual
block
topic
you.
until like the last 20 minutes.
How are we
Yeah.
going to resolve this argument, guys?
We're not. I'm right and they're wrong. It is what it is.
Sure, honey.
All right, guys.
Boom.
Thank you again
Resolve.
for joining us on this crazy, wild episode. Definitely talking about resolving conflicts and strategies for handling disagreements in a positive way. we do know that Drew's got some learning and growing up to do, but that's all right. You know,
I will be
We
the
love
same
him
way when
nonetheless.
I'm old. When I'm old like you guys, I will think the same exact way. I will go out of my way to think this exact same way.
When I'm old like you guys,
Yeah. He knocked my age. I'm knocking y'all's.
Look
Yeah,
at
no,
what he's
yeah.
saying.
He literally was like, "Man, Drew hasn't
at
grown
least
up."
I don't
to-"
look my age.
Your sailor grandfather had it right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much
Oh,
for
gosh.
joining us tonight. We will be back after the first of the year. This wraps up season 1 of Love on the Rocks. I definitely want to thank the Love
What a
Doctor.
fun season.
Yes, it was. We got a lot of explosive surprises coming up for season number 2. So
Oh no.
stay tuned for social
And
media.
we'll come up with them tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I want to thank Drew. I want to thank Crystal. And of course, my lovely co host, Megan.
It's been such a fun season.
It was. But make sure you guys, if you guys like country music, make sure you check us out at Kick Ass Country. You can find us on Live 365. Download the app. It's my new radio station. And Megan's part of my team. And Drew's part of it as well. Maybe we'll get Crystal and Jesse on
sir.
board. Who knows? So
Maybe.
I love
Maybe.
kick-ass country music.
that's right. Kick Ass Country. And just
That's
type
a
in
really
Kick
good
Ass
station.
Country on Live 365. You can find us. Or just check out my
Listen.
socials and you can listen to the station. We got some great music and a lot of things going on for 2024. So we'll see you guys next year.
Happy holidays.
and Happy New Year to all you.
Be safe.